What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon, so a massive shout out of appreciation to Abraham Mohammed, Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Blue Ridge Ranger, Burned Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As the Earth, Chris Hillman, Dank, Dave Rakia Gafford, David Robinson, David Wayne Foster, Dick Earth Skeptic, Edwin Johnson, Erwin Jennisons, Felix Hung, Fireball X, God Rockin, Henrik86, Kirsten Smith, Liam Nedrick, Life is Short, Maria Nealands, Missouri Bear, Muted, NA Literalist, Nathan Thompson, Nigh Rob H, Skeptic936, Steve ALM, Texas Mike, TheFlatEarthChannel.com, The Real Gabster, Tina Baker, Unbelievable Productions, and Windrider. So a massive shout out of appreciation to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now we are joined by a few people in Discord and no one yet in G+, so I'll raise the mic on them and you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Some people call that drier comedy.
Well, you're not far off. But how dead is this argument? I gotta be honest, Nathan and the whole panel. I hear the same shit every day. You guys just argue the same things all the time, and I don't disagree with half of it. But I want them to explore other parts of it, but they don't, unfortunately. You know.
Can you give us an example?
Can you give us an example?
Like, I like the fact that you guys explore different boundaries, like density and weight, for instance. With entropy, I think you guys both had good points. I just don't hear enough of the arguments to learn anything else. I feel you guys stagnate at some sort of good point, but we don't ever get farther from there.
Well, that's based on how much you
I think you're
go
both
and
right.
do research. Hang on. That's on you, like it's on me to go do research after a show if something is intriguing. Not the
No,
show's
yeah, right,
business
you're right.
to
I'm not
teach.
disagreeing.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, just for the audience, that when I hear a subject that I'm unfamiliar with and it's, say, really, cracking a good debate, I'll say, wow, that other side got mad. I wonder what this is all about. So I'll go look it up and start researching it.
No, I absolutely agree with that. And here's the thing. I think you guys make a lot of good points. Is that it's I don't want you guys to get hung up on certain shit every day, because I think you guys are onto some stuff. It's just usually never explored as much as I wish it could be, you know? And I don't know if that's just selfish or just...
Well, when we are not being called by ballers and it's just the panel and others, Nathan seems to get into more details because we ask the questions and explore it. Those shows are real meaningful because there's no one ad homing. Then when the ballers come in, all they do is ad hom, and they've already got their criteria as to what fallacy they're going to push. So we have to destroy that fallacy. So we're stuck on the fallacy when they're here, but we're not stuck on the subject matter when they're not here. I've experienced that a lot.
No, exactly. No, I think you're right. We just get hung up on shit we agree with already, and we never get any farther, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's when the ballers come in, and we have to use the criteria that's already proven to debunk them. So yeah, we go back to it because they're asking the question that's pertinent to it.
So let me ask you guys, just for the sake of argument, and before any shit pops off, do you guys like to debate flat Earth as much, like debate flat earthers, I guess, more specifically? Is that something you're into?
Why would I debate a flat earther?
Like, I know QE, for instance, and probably Nathan, and anybody else who's a flat Earth probably has disagreements with other different angles of it. Like, we all think the Gleasons and the AE map are probably wrong, but we're not really giving other examples. And the fun part for me is that there's probably a lot of different understandings of this.
Well, I'll give you an example. QE says there's an ice wall. I say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nathan says, show it to me first. And I'll say, it's something, but I don't know what it is. I haven't been
Yeah,
there.
no, that's good though. That's so much better.
No, but we've said that.
But that's where I think flat Earth excels, is when we get into the ideas that we never even get to bounce off each other. We have so many ideas that we can just dispel with, right? With gas within container and all that shit. We should get onto cooler shit, right? At least that's what I feel.
Well, we start off with the housekeeping questions. And if no one challenges them, it's open air. Come on and start a conversation.
Yeah, no, you're right. Exactly. I don't know, man. I'm just ready to get this shit going. You know, as
No,
much as anybody else.
I know what you want. I'm having fun with you because I'm
I like
validating
it,
what
dude.
happens here. I'm just validating what happens here every day as we pursue what we're pursuing, and the baller comes on and ad homs, and we have to put him in his place. But if they didn't come on and
But
ad
that's
hom
so
and ask good
boring.
questions, well, that's not our fault. We have to knock them out when they lie.
No, I agree. That's not your problem if they just ask the same.
Yeah. Who was that?
Hey, 10th man.
Hey. Who's this?
Guess.
Guess. It's Monday. Too early to guess.
It's a
Well, you're not
Highlander.
from around these parts. You're not from around these parts, that's for sure.
How's things today?
Is this Highlander?
Yes.
Houston.
Oh, good. Highlander. Things are good. I wanted to finish our conversation from last week. Are you open to it?
Yeah. That's that's why I come on and said hi.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks. You sounded different at first. You didn't sound like the Highlander of Friday.
I was probably tired on Friday because I work nights, you see. So normally I would be asleep at this time of day.
Yeah, I got you. All right, that's fair enough. Yeah, I remember many times before you said you'd look outside and you lived in the hilly area and the earth doesn't look flat to you. And we also asked, is it spinning? So it's not, doesn't look flat to you, and it doesn't feel like you're spinning where you live. So that's why I asked you that very precise question on Friday about if you were at the seashore looking at the sea, and you kind of said, well, I see waves, so it's not flat. And that wasn't the point of the question. So let's just skip all that. The point of the question is there are no hills as you look out to the horizon from the seashore. So if you look out your house and see hills, you say it's not flat, and I would agree with you because it's topographic. Obviously, there's valleys and hills where I live too. But when I go to the seashore and look out, whether there's waves or it's a really calm day where the water's not even moving, I don't see any hills. Do you?
No, I mean I would agree with that, but my
Well, hang
my
on,
whole point of view on
hang on. That's all I want. That's all I wanted. That you would agree with that. That we can't base our interpretation of what we live on by a valley or a hill or a flat ocean, right? That's all I wanted.
Absolutely.
So we can't go there to prove the nature of the earth that way.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that completely.
Okay, all right, that's all I wanted. But go on, ask your question.
No, that's basically where I was going to get to. Really, the observations that we make from where we are on certain areas of such a big planet. Whether you believe it's a globe or whether you believe it's flat, you just cannot come to that conclusion based on small observations.
How about forget observations and use the greatest level ever made, fluid dynamics? What does water show us?
I'm not an expert in fluid dynamics, so.
Okay, have you ever had a glass of water and you see the top of the water in relationship to the top of your glass? Say it's a quarter, half an inch below the top. Is it curved or is it level in that cup of water?
Right, well, I have a glass of orange in front of me, right? It's in a
Okay,
pint
so
glass,
if
it's
yeah,
roughly
if it's on a
halfway.
level surface,
Okay.
sorry, if it's on the
I
level,
would say it looks perfectly flat and level, right?
right,
But
right,
I've
because it's on
also
the, hang on,
seen.
it's perfect. It's perfectly flat and level because it's on a level surface. But if you were to pick up the cup and tilt it a little bit, what would the water show you?
It would conform to the angle that I'm tilting the glass at.
No, it would remain flat. You're just tilting the glass.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the Earth is a ball with a lot more water than in that cup. And it's a ball, so it's got a circumference. It's circular, right? And it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. And you're telling me water is going to do what happens in your cup somehow? Or is that going to fly off? If you were to spin your hand with that cup of water at 1,000 miles an hour, what would happen to that water? Mind you, you're doing that on Earth, where there's supposed to be some kind of fictitious force.
That's perfect. Actually.
Right. See, this is where we got to on Friday, and this is where me and Nathan couldn't agree, because Nathan says the Earth is, if it's spinning really fast, whereas I would say,
Yeah,
well,
but you
no,
went
it's
to
not.
I mean, revolutions per minute, and he was talking miles per hour per minute. There are two different things. You do know that.
Yeah, I know, but
okay. So if you convert,
you disagreeing then?
Hang on, just Highlander and me, if I may, just to give him a chance. If you look up revolutions per minute, are you going to get the same definition as if you look up miles per hour? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so then you did conflate, and Nathan was right.
Yikes.
I also come bearing gifts.
Hang on. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, but give Highlander a chance to talk here. Just show some respect.
If you take a planet twice the size of Earth, right, and it rotates next to Earth at 15 degrees per hour, is that planet spinning faster than Earth?
Now, see what you're doing here, Highlander? Do you see what you're doing? You're presupposing we're a planet. Then you're presupposing a planet next to Earth. And then you're presupposing an unverified experiment. That I am asking you to describe what water does.
Exactly.
When it's still, when water is still, is it moving? When water is tilted, does it fall out of the container if it's tilted enough of an angle? Or does it stick inside that cup as you go say, horizontal with the cup of water? Does it pour out? What happens? What does water dynamics, fluid dynamics, actually say to you? By the way, here on Earth, where you're supposed to have this fictitious force, if you turn your glass of water totally sideways, will that water pour out?
It would obviously pour out.
Okay, so then why do you think we live on a planet, on a ball, with a ton, trillions
Hold on a
and
second,
trillions.
10th man. Hold on. Highlander, have you got dogs barking in the background?
Yes.
Maybe mute when you're not talking? Had that crossed your mind with all that dog barking? Maybe we just need to hear dogs barking while anyone else other than you talks.
Yeah, Nathan, your connection is pretty bad. I don't know if it's just me.
No, it's the dogs just barking.
No, I mean, Nathan, your voice is chopping.
Not defined to me.
No, it was chopping a little bit.
Oh my God.
Well, it's a fine opportunity not to let the show go to the dogs.
Well, I apologise for that. The
Well,
reason the back garden was because my washing machine's on and I didn't want the noise of the washing machine.
So we got the noise of the dogs.
No, we can hear.
well, I was trying to jump in before the show started, but you guys can take up the last 2 minutes. Forget it now.
Is your washing machine spinning?
Hold on, Neil.
It's
Go
not
ahead.
spinning
Hold on.
anymore.
Go ahead, Elijah. Hold on. Go ahead.
Well, I actually wanted to. Did you say go ahead to me or someone else?
You, Elijah.
Oh, yeah. I actually wanted to bring up. Goodness. I wanted to bring up moon phases. Also, I wanted to bring up rainbows, but I don't have enough time to make it make sense right now because we have 1 minute till the show. So maybe I'll just freestyle it during the show.
Again later.
If you can do it without interruption, we'll see how you get on though. Probably not well. Okay, I'll make sure I make a gap for you, Elijah, at some stage.
Thank you. And if I'm not around, don't try to find me because I'll be riding around. If I can't get good quality, I just won't unmic.
Yeah, no worries. Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined in G Plus by 10th Man, and we're also joined by Arwin and a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Oh, good morning all.
Good morning.
Hello, hello. Good weekend, everyone.
Wonderful.
Beautiful weekend. Lots of revelations, brother.
Excellent. Any signs of a physical geometric sphere edge, formerly known as Earth curve?
Not from Pacific Coast Highway, up and down.
No,
Not
it's
according
visually not there, and yeah, water level and all. It's not gonna work out.
No, it's not. Any signs of axial rotation?
Nope, no axial rotation of the Earth-based variety whatsoever.
Yeah, no signs of motion.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
It's over there.
No verification for its distance.
Nathan, we're gonna have to get to QE. We're gonna have to get to R1 eventually. Do you want?
Get to
Because I
Arwen.
want to get to it.
You want to get
Yeah,
to me?
no,
do
I
you?
think
You have to get through me.
we don't have to do it now. I'm just saying, eventually we gotta get.
Eventually, while Nathan takes a nap, you'll get through it, Jarvin.
Are you looking to have a go at Arwen as in flat earther on flat earther action as described in the pre-show?
Well, I'm understood that R1 is a real flat earther, so we got to get to the bottom of it some way.
Okay.
R1. Well, listen. From what I understand, that R1 and QE have some sort of disagreement, and it's usually all the time. And that's kind of a. I wanted to get to the bottom of it because there's a lot of fake flat.
Do we have to get to the bottom of it now?
What the hell does it have to do with flat?
No, we don't have
Our
to.
disagreement doesn't have anything to do
right?
with
We can
flat
get to
Earth.
it eventually. I just want to get to it eventually. Because flat Earth
Can you do it? Can you do it after
We don't need
Elijah
to
gets
do
the
it both.
book?
Well then, good morning, guys.
Flat Earth is
Morning.
bullshit. And I just want to get to the bottom of it. Like in
Good morning, gentlemen.
Did I walk into craziness? What's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Bev.
you may have been in the middle of it.
Chocolate, meat, hot cocoa.
Okay, well, can it wait? Let's just rattle our way through housekeeping. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No, not at all.
Scientific evidence of gravity? Well, that would be relative density.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No.
Right.
What's gravity?
I don't know. Just show me scientific evidence of it. That's all I'm asking. It's not much to ask.
Okay, well, it's going to be easier if you don't even know what it is, though.
Well, the root word Paul Hall shared gravitas is weight, so they're misusing the word.
Any evidence of any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
None whatsoever. All they do is ad hom when you ask questions.
Well, maybe one day,
Exactly.
if it's actually proven that all these astronomical bodies are that far away and we can reach them, then maybe one day there will be some of their concepts that might be proven. But probably not.
The only star anyone's ever reached is the one on top of the Christmas tree, Arvin.
Right.
Bit early for that. Not even into the middle of summer yet. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? But before you do, shout out to Al Junkie, who says, distance to sun, ? How far are you from London Bridge Street? Thank you for the super chat. How far are you from London Bridge Street? Anybody got
It's
any idea
probably,
what it's all about?
maybe the sun is like the newspaper there or something?
Demonstrations on the London Bridge. Is that what it's referring to?
Well, maybe in that street there is a building where the Sun, the newspaper or something is. Maybe
Or
that's a joke.
maybe he's saying the sun is just over there, right now. Why not?
What, literally at the street?
Yeah, on the street at the corner, waiting to cross the street.
I was correct. I knew it. Al Juncker just said I got it right. He meant the Sun, the newspaper Sun.
Very cool.
Wow. If it's too early for puns, it's too early for puzzles.
Right, moving on.
It's way too early for that shit, for sure.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, isn't it just weird, Look at I'm going to make a very convoluted point, but just look at the world out there, all the movies, all the stories and concepts that they have been reifying, over the last 100 years or something. Well, and then see how many movies came out in the last 30 years about outer space and what's out there and all that. And there's even been movies about going through the middle of the earth. Well, the weird thing is in that every conception they brought that forth, there was never any molten iron core. I just realized it. Like, when actually the core comes into play, it never really involved. It always turns out there's something else. I just realized that. It's so weird.
Except when the movie was called The Core.
Was it?
Except when
What was
they
that
made it
again?
up.
There was a movie called The Core, so that would be the object of the movie, right? Subject of the movie.
Their whole shit was.
But was there anything actually about that? Okay.
I don't remember the movie very well. I remember they were in some type of rocket-looking thing, digging down to the core.
Right?
And
Yeah,
had to do
I remember.
something.
Yeah, that's exactly the one I mentioned. But it wasn't really a molten iron core. They just had all these freaking crystal chambers in there, and it's just like, no, it couldn't just be molten iron. No, it had to be something else anyway. They can never just leave it
Yeah.
the way it's
For the
supposed
plot.
to
Right.
It's hard.
Disagreeing with you altogether is that we don't think you know what you're talking about, Arwen. Everybody.
What?
What?
My point is that the molten iron core concept almost seems to be evaded by the globe storytelling traditions, while all the other conceptualizations are embraced fully. That's what I meant.
You seem to sense a beef against Alwyn here.
Yeah,
My beef against Arwen is that same thing as QE has. We think that he's just bullshitting half the time, at least. Now, he could
No,
make
about
good
what?
conceptual arguments.
Why are you going to
that
start
doesn't
with?
sound convincing.
About what? What am I bullshitting
I don't
about?
know.
Can
I'm
you
just
clarify?
saying, do you not feel this?
So
Wait a minute.
That's
Wait a
fine.
minute.
I'm not
Arwen,
waiting.
hold on. I
We
think
can
I
wait
get
till
where this
after.
is going. He thinks I'm bullshitting because he just doesn't understand what I'm saying, aren't you?
QE thinks you're bullshitting too. That's the problem, man. We
And what do
all
you
think you're
think?
bullshitting.
And what do you think?
I think you're bullshitting.
He's bullshitting about what? Fake, pseudo-scientific, presupposed molten iron core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth, and he's making a story about
I
that.
don't know
and
where.
he's bullshitting.
Okay, Chocolate. Listen, I don't know where. Do you know where he gets his arguments from? I don't have a clue.
What
Nobody has
argument?
a
He's
clue.
making
get my
fun
arguments
of the
from, you
freaking
say?
molten iron
I
core
don't
that
have
has
a clue.
yet to
I
be
won't even
proven.
imagine that I have
Maybe
a
I
clue.
will reveal my source script one day. Okay? Is that what
Because
you
you're
mean?
just making it up as you
Dude,
go,
I
man. We
make
all
my
can see it.
arguments. Okay? I
Yeah,
make
You're
them.
just making it up.
I know what's happening. I know what's happening. Let me summarize it in less than 10
I'm
seconds.
flat Earth, but I'm saying,
Arwen,
come on, let's go. Come on.
well, 10 seconds, was that a long time to ask for? All right. So what Arwen does,
No.
he jumps into conceptual thinking while at the same time destroying the globe, showing how they think. And you mistake that Arwen's showing how they think at the same time he's talking about what it is. And you're confusing the two things.
That's very close, 10th man, but I
Where
don't
have you,
actually
you're not
do that to
keeping up to
destroy the
date
globe.
with
The
the flat
globe
Earth
destroys
debate, man. We're
itself.
on this shit.
All I have to do is
I just think
reveal
I just think that's just
and the globe
like
destroys
expired.
itself.
Okay.
Well, what else is there to do? You
I'm
guys
sorry.
don't
Go
have
ahead,
any
you guys.
freaking
Absolutely.
proof of any globe. So, what else we doing? Anybody got proof of a globe in here? In Discord somewhere?
I'm just saying we got problems in flat
Oh,
Earth, you guys.
Look at
That's
Nathan's
all.
background picture. That's the proof.
But I don't understand. Arwen brought up a movie about the core as Nathan. One of the housekeeping questions is about the core. He brought up a movie that was ridiculous, and there are multiple movies that just seem not to really relate to the core. I do that all the time. Like, for instance, I know that Dark Crystal isn't about Earth. However, it's funny that the Skeksis trick the ogre into looking into the stars so that they could steal from the people on the Earth. I mean,
Right, but we want to push shit forward.
So all I'm saying is, everybody has their ways of trying to connect to globe earthers. Nobody cares about your feelings about Arwen's tactics. You just wasted everyone's time here.
It's long. It's tiring to hear.
Okay,
Arwen,
here
you
I
could
got
do
an
better.
idea.
Just
I got
take
an
your
idea.
fucking while.
I got an idea here. If you want to push it forward, use some decorum next time.
Is this the guy that's been making all the Arwen socks?
Probably.
Something?
We've got a load of audio issues on the live stream, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to restart, which is a pain in the ass, but that's just the way it goes sometimes, unfortunately. So for the live audience, I'll keep the recording going a little bit longer. Hopefully we won't have any audio issues with that, as it's been going for about half an hour, and I'll release it later on today. But stay tuned if you are watching on the live stream, as we'll start this broadcast again in approximately 10 minutes' time. So stay tuned if you're watching on the Nathan Oakley live streams. There will be another live stream to follow, hopefully with a few less audio issues. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Da 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 da. And
How
then you
annoying.
said like what?
No, I didn't
We
even
said,
speak
like-
to Nathan, to be honest.
No, and then I said like what? And then
That's
he
what
said,
you're saying,
okay,
though.
like Huey and Arwen.
No, I'm just saying that you got to listen to a lot of the people here that all the time here talk about the shit all day, and they got good points. Like, I feel like you guys are probably maybe missing a lot of the good points, maybe.
We ain't missing shit, bro.
And I said,
Can
why don't
you
you
give
come
us
I
one of
know
these
you
good
don't
points?
believe that.
What are
but
we
you
missing?
Might be.
What
And I
point did we
and I
miss?
oh
Looks.
gosh. And I said, why don't you come on the show and give us these good points rather than complaining that we're missing them?
No, I'm not complaining. I respect the show. I respect you guys. You guys are all intelligent. I'm not trying to hate on this shit. I'm here with
You
you
just
guys.
said people are complaining, and you're saying you're not complaining. I don't get it.
Yeah.
No,
Unless you
I'm
got
here
a
with
real
you. Like,
example,
I think there's a lot of
it's
points to be made. Absolutely.
Listen, if you want to advance flat Earth, why don't you do what I came on the show to do, which is to discuss something that is a revelation.
That audio from there's really bad on this side. Is maybe
Well, I don't know how
Discord
much you guys
needs
talk to
reloading.
actual flat earthers, but I'm here every fucking night, man.